It is obvious that this contest cannot be decided by our knowledge of the Force, but by our skills with a lightsaber.
What's up, folks? Mike for CMCC Builds here with another 5-minute build where we make a character in, you guessed it,
in less than 5 minutes.
Reminder, those 5 minutes only count the level 1 through 20 progression, not this intro or the spell review at the end. So if you want to only spend 5 minutes on this video, you can skip right to the build section. With the holiday season kicking off here in the US, I wanted to quickly give a shout out to one of my patrons. Ryan, thanks so much for supporting the channel. You're awesome, and I really appreciate the support. In addition to Ryan, I want to thank the rest of my patrons, and of course everyone that watches, likes, comments, subscribes. Every little bit helps. We're still a very small channel over here. All the YouTube things do wonders to appease the algorithmic gods.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
So last week we looked at the melee Bladesinger, essentially hamstringing our late level spellcasting by multi-classing out of Wizard, all but ensuring that we can gish from levels 1 through 20. This week we're going to build a Bladesinger and optimize toward power. What's the most powerful Bladesinger? Artificer 1, Wizard 19? Eldritch Knight 3, Wizard 17? Cleric 1, Wizard 19? Probably not. For the Bladesinger and many wizard builds, the fact that you're a wizard means that any delay in spell progression equates to a decrease in power, even if you're multi-classing into another solid class. Bladesingers get armor proficiency, bonuses to concentration checks, and armor class from their primary class feature, allows this wizard to easily progress straight 1 through 20 without the need to dip into other classes for help in those areas. It also frees up much needed ASI feat options that another straight class wizard may need to take to shore up those defenses. What does this Bladesinger look like?
All right. Let's get rockin'!
In the last Bladesinger video, I discussed 5 great racial options for Bladesingers and wizards in general: variant human, custom lineage, Herangons, Shatterkai, which we selected for that build, and today's selection, the Goblin. The Goblin is small size, which matters for wizards with spells like Dimension Door, so be aware of that. Dark Vision and Fey Ancestry for advantage on saving throws you make to avoid or end the charm condition, same as the Shatterkai selection. Then Goblins get Fury of the Small to get a bit of a damage boost, proficiency times per day on both weapon and spell damage. Great for a Bladesinger that will use both, and a small character that will face mostly larger creatures. And finally, the reason we're going with Goblin, Nimble Escape allows you to disengage or hide as a bonus action on each of your turns. Why is this so great? For one, being able to concentrate on a spell and bonus action hide offers a fantastic level of protection. The fact that it's resource free means you can pop out and cast other spells or attack while concentrating and still hide at the end of your turn. And 2, if you get stuck in melee, you always have the option of disengaging to get the hell out of dodge. Even if you're not stuck in melee and just need to get another target or force your enemy to make the difficult decision of staying put or taking damage from Booming Blade, more so than the previous melee Bladesinger, this one will control the battlefield, and Booming Blade plus disengage is just one more way to make that happen. Using the point buy method for ability scores, take an 8 in strength, 15 in dexterity, 15 in constitution, 15 in intelligence, 8 in wisdom, and another 8 in charisma. This may sound familiar, but it's just the best way to play a Bladesinger. Use the racial ASI to boost dexterity by 1 to 16 and intelligence by 2 to 17. Wisdom sucks, which is tough, but proficiency in wisdom saving throws helps a lot here, which is an advantage over the last Bladesinger. But this one forgoes proficiency in con saves. We'll have to rely on Bladesong's defense features until we can rectify that. Background, grab whatever fills the gaps of your table or your concept, and with equipment, get studded leather and a rapier. The mage armor option is there right from level 1, and you can roll with that until you find some decent magical armor. For class, dive right into Bladesinger. Spell progression is your key feature. Arcane recovery, always a fine ability, and with the proficiencies, take Arcana for scrolls and investigation because it's a nice intelligence-based skill to have. At 2, of course, go with Blade Singing, and take the Rapier with Training in War and Song. This build does not have an immediate way to get proficiency with other weapons, so if you find an amazing short sword, you're kinda screwed. Choose between the dex-based options you have, and
choose wisely.
At 3, cantrip formulas allows you to switch up cantrips like your leveled spells. At 4, with the ASI feat, take Fey Touch Intelligence to get the Misty Step spell, round off intelligence to 18, and Gift of Alacrity. This gives a daily spell slot free bump of 4.5 to your initiative on average. Along with a high dex, this will help you win initiative against Team Monster, and we know that means moving first, establishing the battlefield before the enemy, even getting an additional turn in many scenarios. Initiative is that good. At level 6, extra attack comes online. We won't be in melee as much with this build, so don't hesitate to fire a light crossbow while not blade singing. It's a 2-handed weapon, then firing off a cantrip like Firebolt or whatever else you may need. That shouldn't stop you from using the single attack plus booming blade attack combo when needed. At level 8, with the ASI feat, take Resilient Con to round off Constitution at 16, and getting the much needed concentration check support. The extra hit points are always welcome, especially with a D6 hit die. At level 12, max out Intelligence with the ability score improvement. At level 14, Song of Victory.
Victory!
isn't as good on this build because we're not relying on melee as much, kind of a bummer. But with level 9 spells coming fairly soon, we can't complain that much.
It's fine. It's fine.
At 16 with another ASI feat, Take Alert. In tier 4, winning initiative is incredibly important. I mean, it's always important, but at this level when an enemy is so powerful that it can functionally win the combat on its first turn, it's important you go before they do. Your initiative at this point should be plus 12.5 with this, a plus 3 dex, and the plus 4.5 from Gift of Alacrity. One feat that's missing here is Warcaster. If you're not dual wielding, it's not super important, but it does provide awesome synergies with Booming Blade and opportunity attacks, so that's an option here as well. At level 17, revel in your level 9 spells, and now it's decision time. Stick with Wizard or move into another class. It's perfectly reasonable to jump right now, but I'm going to stick around for Spell Mastery at 18. Free uses of Shield and Vortex Warp are really strong even at level 18. It's at this point I'm going to jump from Wizard to get those 2 levels in Fighter. This gives martial weapons proficiency, which may actually matter if you have a fancy magic weapon you've been itching to use. You probably should have good magic armor by now, so defense looks like the best option for fighting style. And then at Fighter 2, level 20, Action Surge. Now you can do more. Time check.
Perfect timing.
Okay, what do the spells in this build look like? For cantrips, I'm going to take Blade Ward. You can replace your second attack with this spell, so if you're in real trouble, attack with either your sword or crossbow and cast the spell to help reduce some of the damage you'll take. Booming Blade, we know how good that is on a build like this. Firebolt for a ranged option and when you need to attack objects. Green Flame Blade to use when enemies are bunched together, and Minor Illusion because it's the best cantrip in the game. In combat, you can lay down some cover in the form of a box or a boulder and take a crossbow shot from behind it, and or hide as a bonus action. Level 1 spells, the usual suspects: Absorb Elements, Detect Magic, Find Familiar, Fog Cloud, Longstrider, Mage Armor, Shield, and Silvery Barbs. For early levels, you may want Sleep and Thunderwave. Level 2, Levitate, Mirror Image, Vortex Warp, and Web. There are a bunch of other good options here too. Rope Trick is incredibly strong, Invisibility is a good utility spell, Tasha's Mind Whip, etc. Level 3, Counterspell, Dispel Magic, Fear, and Fireball. Again, tons of options. Tiny Hut, Slow, Hypnotic Pattern, maybe even Haste if your DM is super nice and lets you cast a cantrip with that third attack. 4, Banishment, Dimension Door. You're small, so this isn't as awesome as it could be. Fire Shield, especially if you want to do some meleeing. And of course, Polymorph. 5, Animate Objects, Big B's Hand, Transmute Rock, and Wall of Force. Level 6, Contingency, Fizzband's Platinum Shield, which I'm taking only because you can move it to another creature as a bonus action. That can actually be very helpful in the right battle with elemental damage or if you need to make a lot of dex saves. Mass Suggestion and Scatter are more control options. Level 7, Draconic Transformation, Blindsight, Flight, and a bonus action Breath Weapon. Fly in the air, Crossbow Bolt, Cantrip, and Breath Weapon your enemies. Force Cage to just end encounters or lock down an enemy. Simulacrum, because why not break the game if you're a wizard. And Teleport for utility. 8, Anti-Magic Field for when you're outclassed and want to do it old school with blades.
Should have done this as men, not with fire.
Clone because you're a wizard, Dominate Monster, and Maze to end encounters. And finally, the big boys, the level 9 spells. Foresight for all-day advantage on everything. Shape Change if you want to turn into a creature and wreck house. True Polymorph if you want to turn your buddy into a rug. And Weird. Wish. Again, Wizard level 9. That's the build. If you want to optimize the Bladesinger towards power, stick with Wizard. Get those spells, control the battlefield, stay out of danger, use those attacks when advantageous to do so. If you liked the video, please like the video. Give a share, subscribe, comment, all the YouTube things. You guys are the best. See you here next time.
5-minute maximum.